helping people out, you know, being nice to people. Hello. Wow. That last video was mildly successful. I mean, not in terms of YouTube videos generally, how they are successful. I didn't get, you know, 1 million subscribers and 1 million views, but I did get thousands of views and hundreds of subscribers, which I guess is good. People sure do like the police, don't they? Or rather, they like the confrontation of the police. And there's more than ample opportunity, isn't there? Because they are literally everywhere. Little boxes everywhere you go. There are coppers looking out, theorising about dangers. I must address something about that previous video, by the way. Something that obviously a lot of people pointed out, and obviously I knew at the time, was that I walked away. Just abandoned the guy. Just got him in the shit, and then fucked off. Was what one of the messages said. And yeah, you're right. You see, the police officer threatened to arrest me. He didn't say, "I'm going to arrest you, dude." He said, I do have the ability to prevent a breach of the peace. And he knew exactly, he knew that I knew exactly what that meant. And I did. It meant he was going to bundle me into a van. Ironically, to prevent a breach of the peace and stop it from actually happening at all means that no crime is actually being committed. Which is an interesting one, isn't it? It's like pre-crime. I'm going to prevent a breach of the peace because breach of the peace is illegal. But if I prevent it, it won't happen. So nothing illegal has happened. But I'm still going to arrest you because I've got a black uniform on and being stalked by 2 people behind me. They're lost. It was very stressful, that engagement. I think it aged me by about 6 months, you know. Gave me 6 months worth of wrinkles, more wrinkles. Which is sad, but, you know, it's better than doing nothing, I suppose. And better than just ignoring that sort of shit, maybe. I don't know. Was it educational? I don't know. But it did put me off. One of the reasons I left was because I was trying to record a film. I'd already been out for about 4 hours trying to record a film, just like I've already been out today for about 4 hours trying to record a film before that rain comes. Look at the Superman curl on my hair. Yeah, let me show you what I filmed as soon as I left that scene. Look, something that looks mildly cultured, surrounded by a load of crap, like crappy old signs and puddles of muck. But then that's what this town I'm in is all about. It's called Kingston, Kingstown. It used to be a nice place, apparently, back in, well, around the year 900, or maybe 1000. But let's just say over the last 1,000 years or so, it's got a little bit drab. I was trying to help that guy avoid an £80 fine from the litter warden. Instead, the police told me that I was breaching the peace because interrupting private corporate business in Kingston nowadays is a crime. Just to let you know. Could you tell how stressed out I was and how it almost ruined my day? But you know, I got over it. I regrouped and I got over it, you know. I'm back in the countryside, look. It's about as close as it gets to countryside around here. Not that it's amazingly peaceful, as you can probably tell. There's a helicopter flying over. You've got a massive Freemasonic building with a kind of dominant presence, like emanating, like firing itself through my soul. And I know full well that if I go any further in that direction, I'm at the doorstep of MI5 and MI6. So it's not amazingly heartwarming around here. Today, earlier on, I went up to Buckingham Palace. And the reason I went up there is because I wanted to do some science. And the science I wanted to do was the science of measuring the police state.
I'm going to have to ask you to stand the opposite side of the road, I'm afraid, okay?
It's very windy today, so the sound is going to be windy. I just wanted to lay that on you. And I'm here at a place where a lot of people want to go. It's called Buckingham Palace. Most of the people here quite naturally presume that the Queen lives here, but the Queen does not live here. In fact, it's quite well known that the Queen doesn't even like this place very much. Maybe just because it's too shabby. Who knows? Possibly she doesn't like it here because it's too dangerous. It's quite a common... I thought I heard clapping then. I was like, who's clapping who? But it's just people with suitcases. What's in their suitcases, I don't know. You know, it's easy to believe that this area is a really, really dangerous place. Danger could be anywhere. Any of these people could be an undercover jihadist, hell-bent on reaping vengeance against the Western world by shedding blood onto the red surface road. And, you know, what an iconic media image that would be. Blood on the red surface road. And what consternation there would be in the eyes of the public, in the ears of the public, if something terrible happened here. But I'm not convinced that there's that much of a danger. Of course, if you look at Buckingham Palace, the one thing you generally see are, you know, people behind railings staring at cuddly, fluffy things carrying guns. But these cuddly, fluffy things are not really that terrifying. They're a bit like a teddy bear. You know, a teddy bear is like a simulation of a ferocious brown bear, yet it's not really that ferocious. It's quite cuddly. Plus, you may notice that the Royal Guards, too much fluff to focus on, the Royal Guards over there, they have their guns holstered, meaning they're not ready to fire. However, these guys, just here, these three guys in black, are ready to fire. Their guns are unholstered. He's smiling. Is he really that friendly? No, look, you can see the veneer just broke. He's not really that friendly. And none of these guys fill me with joy when I look at them. In actual fact, I mean, you may be aware that those police with their guns out, they're here as a visual deterrent. You know? They're here to look menacing and to look intimidating. But nobody is quite sure what it is exactly that they are achieving by standing there. It's certainly true that over the last few years, London has accrued many, many, many more armed police officers, but nobody's quite sure what it is that they're doing. At least I'm not sure. This is the question that I'm posing. I propose we do a bit of science today. From this building down to the bottom of the Mall, which is down there, is about half a mile. From the bottom of the Mall down to the House of Parliament is about half a mile. That's 1 mile, and I propose we go round and count how many armed police officers we can find. Let's do some science called measuring the police state. Quite natural, of course, to have police around here, and you might even see there's a large army vehicle coming out of there. The army, you know, are quite average bits of scenery around here. Police, average bits of machinery around here. Machinery. What I'm interested in is the armed police. That's the measure of the police state, I think. When you see an armed policeman looking at you, not so much these guys, because, you know, they don't even have tasers, you know. They have to use their wit to survive. Look, here comes some more. It's literally like a party right now. But when an armed police officer is standing there looking at you, he's theorizing. He's basically a conspiracy theorist. He looks around him, or her, and he sees nothing but danger and suspicious people with murderous and possibly explosive intent. And when people look into the eyes of an armed police officer, what they are essentially thinking is that the armed police officer is thinking that they're a criminal. Criminality is born in the minds of the public because of the general appearance of the police. Isn't that an interesting concept? Let's go a bit further along the mile to St. James's Palace.
Doing your test drive, yeah. Only by chance.
Extend the opposite side of the road, I'm afraid. Okay.
I'm just the other side of Downing Street, Horse Guards Parade. That's the Foreign Office behind me. And you may or may not be aware that the Foreign Office is where, in this country, they created the institutions that governed scientific propaganda in wartime. I don't really know whether that's relevant or not. Around the back of Downing Street there is of course a statue of a man with dubious moral qualities. A man who was killed by terrorists in 1979. There's two armed police officers on the back of Downing Street. There are two armed officers on the side of Downing Street. Quite normal, of course, to have armed officers around the entrances of Downing Street. I'm going to go around the front as well. But my question is not about where they are, but how many there are now compared to how many there were in the past. And possibly we're setting a benchmark for when this could be measured in the future. Of course, I'm going through Horse Guards Parade, through that little arch there, which about 1 year ago I did. And of course I do have a benchmark of how many armed officers there were there last year, because I was filming when possibly I shouldn't have done. And I'm pretty sure there was either just one. I know there was two in the film because they were changing over duty. So the guy who had a battery in his hand was going off duty, and the guy who was extra nice and let me go without frisking me was coming on duty. So I think possibly there was just one. Let's go and see how many there are now. One. I hope those people weren't filming. I'm sure they were just taking stills with a GoPro. 2, 3. There are 3. But I'm not sure whether there were 2 last year or 1 last year, but there certainly weren't 3. That I know. But they make me feel so safe.
Policeman, hang on, I've gone off. Right. Well done. Thank you.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's always been a lot of policemen there. I think since about 1983 or something. But they've all got weapons. There's 2 who have got like the normal MP5s, but all of the other police are carrying a little pistol on their thigh, which is very sexy. Really sexy. Oh yeah. Which means they're all armed. And, call me old-fashioned or something, but I thought traditionally, we had a police force who didn't carry weapons. But even the guy standing outside the actual door is now packing heat on his thigh. It just makes me feel a bit weird. One place to go. Seen that rain cloud in the background. So there are 2 at the door. The others around here, as far as I'm aware, are not packing heat in a very sexy way. And so that is the benchmark. I'm at the end of the mile, and we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's the benchmark. So I've just recorded the end of this film. I'm now going to record the beginning.